All right, how's it going, guys? I know it's been a long time since I made a video, and mostly because I don't try to make clickbait videos like a lot of people do on YouTube. I'm trying to make raw, real videos that maybe raw is not the right word, but at least genuine videos with genuine content that is about things that mean something to me. Um, and that's what I shoot for. So that's what you're going to get with my YouTube channel. So this is Keel, and I'm back. And today I'm going to talk about greatness, but real quick, because I don't want to do this at the end, because I want to kind of end it a special way. So if you end up liking this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to hear more of this stuff or see more of this content, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, and you hit the little bell so you get notified of when I upload new content. So since it's not quite often currently, make sure you hit that bell if you subscribe, so that way you do get notified. Right, moving on. Greatness. So this is something I talk about a lot at work. Some of y'all might know, currently in the military, about to be finished with my military career. But yeah, greatness is definitely not something that's new to the military or new to, say, law enforcement or fire department or really anybody. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I think anybody can be great at really any time and in a lot of situations, in almost any situation. That's kind of what I want to hit on. I think a lot of people think that it's, running into a burning building to save a baby or what have you, or jumping on a grenade to save your squad, and you take the hit. Obviously, those are definitely moments of greatness, and I'm not here to take away from those at all. But I also want to think, or I also think and want to talk about and expand on perhaps different levels of greatness, or really, in my mind, greatness. So those acts that I mentioned, right, running into the burning building, the gentleman in the that was there for the shooting in Virginia Beach, current event, where he went back into the building. He saved like 7 people, and he ended up dying because of that. That is great. That is greatness in that moment. Now, why is that great that he did that? Well, it's great because he saved 7 people. All right. Had he not really saved anybody and just went back into the building, it probably wouldn't be thought of as that. Now, if he tried to stop the shooter, that is great, right? But the level of greatness or the level of that impact of that action is really reflected in not necessarily the result, but the people that it impacts, right? Those 7 people that he saved and their families, and how that impacts all those people. Same thing with the guy jumping on the grenade. Obviously, that is a great action because of who he saved and how that impacts their lives, their future lives, maybe how they see life, maybe how they live their life, and those sort of things. So just real quick, we got to start off with the definition, right? Greatness. So the online dictionary here, it talks about the equality of being great, distinguished, or eminent. All right. So we're going to focus on great. Eminent is like being famous, things like that, or above your place, I guess. But we're going to really focus on great. So let's move over to great. We'll take the ness off of it. So great could be adjective of an extent, amount, or intensity considerably above the normal or average. All right. Or also of ability, quality, or eminence considerably above the normal or average. So synonyms of that are like prominent, eminent, preeminent, important, distinguished, illustrious, noble, those kind of things. So we're not focused on that. We're focused more on considerable, substantial, pronounced, significant, appreciable, serious, exceptional, inordinate. That's a great word. Extraordinary. That's another great word that's not used enough in my mind. So I've already talked about kind of what does that mean, to me, the greatness, those kind of things. Now let's talk about, we've talked about it could be a great, overwhelming act of greatness. It could be some really substantial thing, right? But it could also be something small, like It could be helping an old lady cross the road or something. You know, it could be anything. It could be helping out. Say you meet someone on a subway, or you meet someone out or something like that, and you find out they're a young person. Maybe they have an absentee father. You impart some words of wisdom. You take time out of your day to buy them lunch, have lunch with them, talk with them, get their story, share some of your stories, maybe share some, like I said, some words of wisdom, those kind of things. But maybe those things, it doesn't have to be the grenade, is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be jumping on the grenade. It could be a lot of things. So I want you to remember that. It doesn't have to be, because remember, think about it like, what is the impact on that other person? That to me is where the greatness lies. The greatness of sacrifice is in that initial moment. You know, September 11th, all the firefighters, all the other rescuers and whatnot, all the heroes of that day, the jumping on the grenade, all those events that make the news and those kind of things, those are great events, and those are moments of greatness, substantial risk to life, substantial sacrifice. I mean, ultimate sacrifice in a lot of the cases, all right? But I want you to understand that that's not... You could sit down with someone and talk to them. They're having a really bad day, and you could sit down and say, you know, a sentence to them and totally turn that around and turn around their whole outlook and get them on a different track and get them on a different trajectory for success. All right. Whereas otherwise they were heading down possibly not so successful path. So the real twist of that, or the real crux of all that, is recognizing those moments. All right. Recognizing when you need to be great, or when there's an opportunity to excel, to help someone, to help the mission, whatever that might be, to work later, put in extra hours, take some time out of your personal life to help someone else. You know, those kind of things. Just real quick side story. I had a really good friend of mine, close friend of mine, him and his wife, they lost their house in a fire. And it was horrible. I couldn't imagine what that was like. And they were miles away from their house. They were like 3 hours away from their house, going on a road trip, family road trip. They got a call from their neighbor, your house is on fire. Well, holy smokes. So they had to turn around and drive for 3 hours back, not knowing how bad the damage was. I mean, they were getting pictures and stuff and things like that. But still, a picture doesn't convey what that is in real time, right? Or what that means. You know, you might be thinking about, oh, I've got this special collection of these items, and they're in this closet downstairs. Is that burned up yet? I don't know. Am I going to be able to get to that? Is that, whatever. So you're worried about that kind of stuff. So pictures are great, but that doesn't give you the full scope of it, right? And I was with them the night that happened, and it was and to be honest, their resiliency through the whole thing. Now they do have 3 children, younger children, and their resiliency through the whole thing, I think maybe having the children helped them to kind of just push through it. I mean, what could they do? They could be upset, or they could, as I like to say sometimes, untuck and get it going. Sometimes you gotta nut up and shut up. And there's nothing they could do, being upset about it, nothing like that, and I tried to help them as much as I could and be there for them and help them, and I helped them a little bit when they rebuilt their new home and all that stuff too. And I wish, thinking back on it now, I definitely could have helped them out more with that. I felt like I was there in the beginning for sure. I helped them move into their townhome that they stayed in the middle of it, and but I definitely could have been. See, I could have been better there. I had some moments of greatness in my mind because I was there for them. I was putting aside my personal stuff, and I was there for them. Weeknights, going to get furniture, things like that. And some people may say that's being a good friend, or that's just doing the right thing. And that is true. That is correct. That is doing the right thing. That is being a good friend. But at the end of the day, at the end of your life, or those kind of things, when you think back on it, I would hope that they look back on that and think that that they were appreciative of things, and I know they are. They've said it, but I think, those things, me looking at them and how they handled that situation, I felt that was greatness within them, and that reflected on me. Like I picked up on that, and I will always remember that and how they handled that adversity, because it was really crazy. I mean, imagine losing everything. I know that has happened to a lot of people recently with the floods and whatnot, and the tornado recently here in Missouri. But I've been lucky enough to not have any of that happen to me. But I would hope that I would have the same level of composure that they did to get through it. So biggest thing, you don't want to seek out these moments, but you definitely want to be ready for when they happen, and you got to seize that opportunity, and you have to capitalize on that, and be great, because maybe the people around you, they require that greatness. Okay, it may be a military mission, or you may be in law enforcement or the fire department or EMT, paramedic, surgeon, ER, trauma surgeon, whatever, or you could be a school teacher. Student struggling, or maybe that student, maybe they don't have any money. Maybe they need to organize some sort of clothing donation thing or something like that. You see those videos on Facebook a lot where they find out the kid doesn't have any money. They come together and they buy him a new pair of shoes or something like that. Right? To that child, that is great. That is amazing. The impact on them is great, and the impact on everybody else is not that big. But to that person, that impact is great, and that's all I got. So like I said, if you like it, hit the like button, subscribe. Just go out there and be great.